docket for February 14th, 2023. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube. Public viewing. Mr. Marufo, would you call our next case, please?
Second to the last on page 15, Judge. In cause number 2022-0D00799, State of Texas versus Carlos Gallegos. Announcement of council, please.
Alyssa, state is ready.
Judge Daniel Mena for the defendant, and he should be logging on right now, Jose.
He's right there, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, very good.
I'm going to go ahead and mute him. So for purposes of the record as well, Mr. Gallegos is appearing remotely. Mr. Mena, I know I was out last week and I think you all were anticipating going to trial in another case that has since been dismissed. And I did not see anything in terms of this case. I didn't hear a recommendation. So I went ahead and set this so it wouldn't be left outstanding and so I could get a handle on where we are in this one. Ms. Elizalde, what's the rec in this case?
The rec is deferred. I basically just changed it to take anything that was related to the dismissed case.
You said 10 deferred?
Correct. 10 years deferred.
Yes,
Mr. Mena?
Judge, my client and I've discussed it. He wants a trial in this case.
Okay.
But
well,
Judge, I think you tried to set it for this week or Monday or Friday. But Judge, I've got a huge docket that's now backed up because of this trial, and we were scheduled. We were ready for last week's trial that went away, but then that's filled up. So I'd ask for at least a 30-day hearing date before we set this for another date for trial.
What is there anything outstanding? Let me get in there. I don't recall if there were any motions filed in this case. Do we have labs? Is everything good to go, Ms. Elizalde?
Yes, Judge, and labs are up.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, Mr. Mena, I know our calendar is super full. I really wasn't thinking we would be ready unless you were telling me like you did to Judge Reyes last week that you were super ready this week. But I did want to find out when we can schedule you. It'll probably be between 30 and 60 days.
That's fine.
So we'll get you a new setting without anything else outstanding. It's just going to be a final hearing plea deadline and trial. Okay.
That'll work. I appreciate it.
Let's look for something between 30 and 60 days. I don't have a lot of confidence that there's a lot of room there, but we'll get you. We'll get you in there somewhere.
Judge, I've got a murder trial going on the 3rd of March or the 5th of March, first week in March, 3rd of March. So it had to be the end of March sometime. Maybe
we look to April. Okay, yeah, maybe we look to April. Okay, Ms. Hernandez, let's look at those dates. I know we have some holidays in there, but we'll get you squared away.
I appreciate it, Judge.
Thank you.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
You may, as may your client. Thank you very much, Mr.
You all have a good Valentine's Day. We all behave. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, who's next?
Second on page 16, Judge. In cause number 2020-0D05993, State of Texas versus Elijah Mom. Announcement of council, please.
Alyssa, state is ready.
Dennis Moore for Elijah Munn, ready, Your Honor.
Final hearing plea deadline. What's the rec, Ms. Elizalde?
Judge, actually, and I did let Mr. Moore know this on Friday, the decision has been made to dismiss this case. You'll see the reasoning on the dismissal that Lisa Clausen will send in.
Okay, so I don't have a dismissal yet. I'll go ahead and await that. We'll follow up with you on Thursday if we don't have it, okay?
Yes,
thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Thank you. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Who's next?
Bottom of page 11, Judge. In cause number 2022-0D00760, State of Texas versus Kendall Ryan Brown. Announcement of council, please.
Elizalde for the state. State is ready.
Mr. Huffman, is this yours?
No, Mr. Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez, are you there?
Your Honor, I'm in the, sorry, Your Honor, I'm in the parking garage and I had to just pull over real quick. You know, I call under, and this I'm Brian.
So your audio and your connection is absolutely terrible. So if you could find a better place, and we'll go on to another case with another attorney, please.
Yeah.
No. We can go on. If Mr. Morales connects to audio, let's take care of his. His will be quick.
Yes, Judge. Top of page 12, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Number 2022-0D01174, State of Texas versus Robert Covington. Announcement of council, please.
Eliana Elizalde for the state. State is ready.
And good morning, Your Honor. Leonard Morales, now on behalf of Mr. Covington. And
Mr. Morales, I did have notation here, a couple of things. I guess we're overlapped. I know you were just appointed back in January
Yes.
on this one. So I was basically just wanting to go through this hearing to find out what kind of turnaround time. I did not see any outstanding motions. So I don't know how ready it is, although I know you're very new. So I kind of hate for you to burn a continuance on it because my intention was to reset it anyway. But I
Right.
need to know what is a realistic turnaround time on this one, because he's been in custody for a long time.
yes, Judge, and I don't expect, I mean, I've had a chance to review the portal, Judge, and look at everything.
Mhm.
And obviously there's some things that we need that my client and I need to discuss. And then I did get a rec from Javier. So I need to review all that and see what my client wants to do, but I don't expect a lot of turnaround as far as the trial date, Judge.
Can I put you 6 months out? I mean, that's really the longest I
fine.
wanna, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So Myrna, let's go 6 months out. Miss Elizalde, what's the rec?
Your Honor, lesser included robbery, 6 TDC.
Mhm. And that's what I have, Judge.
Okay, perfect. We'll probably give you a slate of settings, just to be on the safe side, but we'll
That'll
do a
work,
quick turnaround, all right? And if things
Absolutely, Judge.
resolve, let us know so we can get him moving.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I will do that. Yeah, I just need to get out and talk to him about the rec again. There was a couple of things I was looking at, but I've resolved all those issues. So
Okay,
I just need
beautiful.
to cover that with him and let him know and see
Well,
what he wants
thank
to do.
Thank you for jumping in and taking care of that. All
No
right, we'll
problem,
see you
Judge.
next time around. If you don't have
Very good.
anything else, you're excused.
I think that's it, Judge.
Take care.
Thanks.
Next.
Is Mr. Ortiz there?
I think I just saw. It is him.
Here I am. Good morning.
Good morning.
Staying on page 12, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2020-0D03263 and 2021-0D00715 and 2022-0D00887 and 2019-0D06824, State of Texas versus Stephen Gamboa. Announcement of council, please.
Eliana Elizalde for the state. State is ready.
Good morning, Judge Ruben Ortiz on behalf of my client right here. And his name is
Mr. Gamboa?
Gamboa. Sorry about that.
Sure. Sure, okay, and we're set for a final hearing plea deadline. Mr. Gamboa, I see a name box. I don't see a face that has his name. Okay, is appearing remotely as well. Ms. Elizalde, what's the rec for all of these cases?
Your Honor, I have a rec here for 5 AP with conditions on portal or 3 TDC. All of the other probation cases are misdemeanors. So to me, that's the rec right now. I have not received any counter or anything like that.
So let me ask, Carla, are you there? Let me ask, let's flip over to the probation side of it. I apologize. I did not see, I think it was sent yesterday afternoon, maybe, the report. So can you just give me a summary on Mr. Gamboa and I'll look it up?
Your Honor, Mr. Gamboa has 3 probation cases, which he pled on July 20th, 2021. Therefore, he is approaching his expiration date of the 2 years this summer in July. Your Honor, he has completed what has been court ordered: anger management, theft, his fees, to include restitution. He's only behind on his probation fees. He does have the rearrest, Your Honor, from April 19, 2022, which is the pending possession case that we have pending. The motion to revoke was filed and was dismissed as of June 14, 2022. To date, like I mentioned, he has been reporting, and there's no major issues, only the rearrest has been pending.
Okay. So Mr. Ortiz, do we know what your client wants to do on the new case? You're muted.
Sorry about that. The issue is my client was not in possession, Your Honor. So
Well,
that's.
I don't have any motions. I don't have anything on the new case, and we're already at final hearing plea deadline.
No, what I'm saying, Judge, is
Uh-huh.
it's gonna be a factual issue.
Okay.
But I mean, if somebody really carefully looks at the file, Your Honor, and reads the facts of this case and how it happened, I think they could piece it together that my client was not in possession. I mean, it was in a vehicle that, so my client was sitting in the back of a car while the police officers, they're the ones that put him into that car, by the way. They placed him into another car. And then the stuff was found in somebody else's car. In other words, the police officers put it, there was like two cars. It was like a weird deal. There was a shooting that took place.
Mm-hmm.
The police showed up, and then they started like moving people around. My client gets out of one car, they put him in another car. And then that's where that stuff was found in another car, which my client didn't even, I mean.
So
I
I
can tell you
hear
that-
what you're saying, Mr. Ortiz, but we're in final hearing plea deadline. So are you ready for trial?
We'll be ready, Judge.
Okay. I mean, if we're that factually apart, then
Yeah.
maybe the trial is how we resolve it.
Yeah, I mean, I
So-
can tell you, Judge, that
Mhm.
everyone else's case was dismissed except for my client's case.
Okay, so for my purposes, what I'm hearing you say, Mr. Ortiz, is no go on any plea.
No, right. I
Okay.
mean, I mean, why would my client's not gonna plead guilty when they're.
I totally understand, but I only have a few cases this week, and you actually have a few of them that are set for trial this week. So then this one looks like a trial. We'll send jury sheets. Happy to bring you back on Thursday if you think that's useful. If not, we'll just see you on Friday. We have commissioners court, so.
Whatever you
If I'm
want
not
to do, Judge.
mistaken-
I mean, I mean, I don't care wherever you
Sure.
guys want to do this. Your Honor.
Is there anything outstanding?
I
On the
don't
state
see
side,
any.
we have labs, we have everything.
We have labs, Judge.
Okay, so
They
if,
can prove the substance. That's great.
let's see. So, okay, we'll get you jury sheets. Does anybody need to come back on Thursday?
If there's no way to negotiate, I mean, I've never had any contact with Mr. Ortiz on this, but it sounds like there's no negotiation to be had. So I guess
I mean,
not.
if you're gonna request for him to plead guilty, there isn't. However, if you want to, take some classes or something for dismissal, that's great. I don't know if you read the entire file. I mean, I don't know who had this case before you. That's why.
So let me bring you back on Thursday, Zoom. We won't do in person. Let's do Zoom at 11 a.m. And if you all have moved along somewhere different than you are today, great, but we're still gonna get you the jury sheets in case you guys don't agree. Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
Ruben, I'll call you.
Yes, ma'am. No, we have another one.
That's
coming
not
up.
yours, Ms. Caballero.
Okay,
Yeah, we have the next one.
okay.
Voices, hold on. All right, go to the next one. Thank you, Ms.
Teresa wants to go on Friday. That's why. Just kidding.
She's ready.
Go ahead.
Case
Mr.
cause number 2021-0D0-3137, State of Texas versus Ricardo Jaime. Announcement of council, please.
Eliana Elizalde for the state. State is ready.
Ruben Ortiz and Teresa Caballero on behalf of Mr. Ricardo Jaime.
And for purposes of the record, Mr. Jaime is appearing remotely as well. We are scheduled for a final hearing plea deadline. Ms. Elizalde, what is the rec?
Direct right now is 10 TDC, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Ortiz?
I mean, that's not acceptable to us, Your Honor. That definitely is going to be a trial, Your Honor. I mean, this case will be a trial.
I
Unless
knew
it's
it.
a case.
I knew this was your week, Mr. Ortiz. So even though I only had 5 cases, 2 of them were yours. Again, this is another one. If you're ready, good. We'll have the jury sheets for you. If you think it's useful to bring you in on Thursday, I will. If not, and now that you have 2 of them, Ruben, maybe we do bring them both in on Thursday in case there's any change. So I know what we're doing on Friday, whose case we're going on.
I mean, I'd like to now, Judge, be honest with you, because I mean, I don't want to wait till Thursday, Judge.
Well, I'd love to. I mean, for my purposes, you're going on both. My only thing is if the state turns around and, for example, on Mr. Gamboa goes away on that one, Mr. Jaime's is the older case. So chances are it's going to be Mr. Jaime. but we'll see. We'll see. So we'll bring them back on Thursday as well. I don't know if there's any change. In any event, you're still going to get the jury sheets and be good to go. Okay. Ms.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Elizalde, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Elizalde, do you have anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Is that all Mr. Ortiz has?
Yeah, I just have those two, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you very much. We'll get you the jury sheets, Mr. Ortiz.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you,
We'll see
Mr.
you
Jaime.
Thursday.
Your case has been taken care of.
And we'll see you Thursday at 11.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Amen.
Who's next?
A second on page 15, Judge. In cause number 2022-0D01180, State of Texas versus Anthony Villa. Announcement of council, please.
Eliana Elizalde for the state. State is ready.
So this is the one I had. It's actually set for a plea this afternoon, right?
No, Judge.
No?
That's an Aaron Villa.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So what's happening here?
Well, Judge, we're trying to work it out. There's been a question. My client says he has no felony convictions. The state thinks that he does, or maybe.
So let me stop. Let's go in order. Ms. Elizalde, what's the rec?
Judge, the rec is dismissal of the robbery he has pending for trial in May. 2 TDC on this case.
So he has another case and it's already set for trial and they're not, we need to put them together, Ms. Hernandez? Yeah, these need to be scooped up together. These needs to be set together. So on the other case, obviously we're gonna go past this date on the attempt to commit. That's clearly, well, let's see, what else is it? And a possession. So they need to track together with a May date. So whatever dates there are on the May case, this case will now follow those. You will have the same deadlines, all of that business, okay?
Judge, my client's been in custody for about a year.
Mhm.
So is there any way we could keep this on the trial track just in case that the?
It is going to be on the trial track. And in fact, you're set for Friday, but because he has another case and what I'm hearing from you is pretty much you guys are still negotiating. We're going to follow the later trial track of the other case.
See, Judge,
So-
the robbery case, the one that's set for trial, we
May
have a
12th?
good case. Oh, is that one set for May 12th? The
Yes,
robbery?
so that case, 2022-0D03537, has a status conference in 1 month. Final judges, April 13th, final hearing plea deadline on May 9th. This case today, ending 1180, is going to track those exact dates. They are both going to be set for trial on May 12th. Figure out if you all are able to resolve them or not. You'll have your trial date.
So Judge, is the trial for Friday getting,
Are you
reset?
ready for trial this Friday?
Well, I guess we could use a little time, Judge. I was hoping that the.
I don't want
robbery
to speak for you. Are you ready for trial on that case this Friday? I mean, I asked for announcements and you start talking about all kinds of reasons why you still need to work on stuff. Well, this case is ready to go. For my purposes, this case is ready to go. Doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to have them separately, and it didn't sound like you were telling me you were ready.
Well, I don't think that the state's ready, Judge. They've been talking about these judgments from Arizona. That they haven't gotten.
I'm not asking for you to speak for the state. I'm asking you if you are ready.
Okay. Yes, Judge.
Okay, so you want this trial date this week?
I was hoping we could keep that and possibly bring us in on Thursday. I've got to run to the annex and kind of talk to Mr. Villa, and possibly get some, he's been doing a lot of stuff in the jail that might help his mitigation that Ms. Elizalde might consider.
Okay,
Judge,
so this is what I'm having a problem with, because you're not the only attorney, but since you're talking right now, Mr. Huffman, you're gonna hear it. This is a final hearing plea deadline. Everything that you're telling me about this case and everything that still is outstanding should have been done already. So,
and Judge, we've been asking for the extraneous since I think we put it in probably 12 months ago for our request for extraneous.
Ms.
Something like that.
Elizalde, What's the
Yes,
status?
We have not filed a notice of extraneous. It was out of time. But as I said earlier, we'll proceed without it. And then when we hit the robbery in May, I'll have it. I just came into this courtroom. I'm not gonna give excuses or make up excuses. If you want to go, Mr. Huffman, despite everything we've talked about, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I understand that, and I understand it's up to your client. But the way I see it, he won't be, if I get the conviction on this trial, he won't be probation eligible for the robbery when we go. At a minimum.
I don't think it works like that.
No, probation eligibility is determined at the time that it is requested.
Okay, so let me back up. Ms. Elizalde, I didn't hear a rec. Did I hear a rec that encompassed everything or not? I don't
Yes,
recall. What is it?
The rec is to dismiss the robbery, which is a case for 2 TDC in this drug case.
Okay.
And then the other offer, Judge, was 5 probation to plead up to both cases. So, you know, since he's innocent of the robbery, we're hoping the state would consider 5 probation on the possession case.
Those were plea papers set before my time that I don't have access to, Judge. Is that where you're getting it from, the plea papers? That's not important.
The rec was 5 probation on both cases or 2 TDC just on the possession case.
I'm not prepared to dismiss the I understand that you think he's innocent, but I'm not prepared to dismiss the robbery for probation. Nor based on what I told you today, do I think he's even a good candidate for probation.
So are you ready for trial this week on this case, or are you asking for time, Mr. Huffman? I mean, asking for a pass, asking for a continuance. I don't have any continuances filed.
Judge, I can't ask for a pass. He's been in jail for too long. But possibly, can we bring him in on Thursday to see if we can resolve this case?
Do you want him brought over for that hearing so that it is an in-person hearing?
That would be, I think that would be helpful, Judge.
Okay, we'll reset the final hearing plea deadline for 11 a.m. on Thursday in person. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Maybe excuse, Judge?
Yes, sir. Who's next?
Bottom of page 11, Judge, in cause number 2022 0D00760, State of Texas versus Kendall Brown. Announcement of council, please.
Eliana Elizalde for the state is ready.
Edward Hernandez, Deputy Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Kendall Ryan Brown, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Final hearing plea deadline, Ms. Elizalde, what is the rec?
The recommendation currently is for TDC, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Hernandez?
Your Honor, and I actually think that might be an okay rec, and it might possibly be doable. The problem is my client's in FCI, Colorado, doing a federal sentence for 63 months. I understand he's already got like a year's worth of credit over there, so it may be like 50 months. If there used to be I don't know if the young or the woman in the DA's office is still there who can detain people and bring them over.
Francie?
Because we may be able to just run this thing concurrent if we can just get them here.
So I gotta assume he's never shown up, he's never checked in, Mr. Marufo?
Correct, Judge.
Well, he was calling by phone, Your Honor, but that was when he was facing his revocation on the criminal in federal from like Midland or Odessa somewhere. So I had some communication with him, and then his family contacted me just a few weeks ago, it might have been 2 or 3 weeks ago, to tell me he's been sentenced and moved to Colorado. I have the contact information, the numbers and stuff. If Francine is still there and if the state's willing, we can bring him here in the meantime and quite possibly, in fact, most likely just do a concurrent sentence here.
So we have no defendant. Okay. We don't have any of the details. I mean, is it helpful to have a warrant here?
Well, it's the state can do a detainer, Your Honor, and I've tried it before. In the end, the case ended up getting dismissed for wanted prosecution because the state wouldn't help me. So I'm saying, but if the state's willing to do it, I'll get them all the information they need. Because my experience, federal penitentiaries won't cooperate with defense lawyers to get clients out here. But if the state asks for them, they'll get them out here. And we can resolve this case very quickly, Your Honor.
So is he just on a cash surety bond?
don't know, Your Honor. He was already out when I got this case.
It looks like, Ms. Martinez, can you tell? I did look at this one yesterday and there was a lot of jailings. Return to state custody, but that's one. I only see just offhand, I just see PR bond.
No, he was released straight to federal custody.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna reset this. Golly, it's gonna take you all. We're gonna reset it for 6 months. 6 months.
Can we
a
do
new-
like 2 months, Your Honor?
Well,
I don't want to
well,
lose
here's-
6 months of time.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I'm putting it at 6 months for a trial, but you will have interim settings that are almost monthly. So do you need to have the trial setting, or will one of our regular settings take care
I
of
think
it?
a regular setting will do, but if the is Francine still at the DA's office? Anybody?
Yes, I believe she is.
Still here. This is new territory for me, so I don't want to make any statements yet, but
She is, so get in touch with her and she'll explain some things to you. But
Okay.
for my purposes, we're gonna go 6 months out. Okay?
Okay, and I'll send Ms. Elizalde all the information that the state would need to get him here. If you
Right,
can just get him here, we can finish this case. I mean,
Okay.
I'm very, very confident of that.
right, that's good. All right, so we'll get you a reset.
Okay,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Your Honor.
Who's next?
Am I excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I believe that's it for this morning, Judge. Mr. McDonald played last week. There was just pending some dismissal papers to be
Okay.
signed by Judge Reyes, and I think they've been signed.